Hi there people, welcome to the video. Today I'll be talking a bit about Iron Banner. It's one of my favorite PvP modes, but I suck. So here are some tips if you are in the same situation. Here, just really quick, I'm going to go over my build, very superficial. If you want a video on my build, it's nothing incredible, but if you want that, just let me know. One of the very important things I said in another video is having the max Iron Banner gear and the Iron Banner emblem. After that, you will just play some Iron Banner and you'll get the challenges. So you can get your reputation multiplier up to 13.25. And that's very good. It makes things very quick, even if you lose. So, believe me, you'll be losing a lot. So I have in my bond, my bond is an Iron Banner bond. This is very good because of the bonus it gives. It gives a chance to get an enhancement prism on wins. Ornaments count for the Iron Banner like pieces. So all these three are solstice pieces and I have ornaments, so they count. If you're having trouble with lacking something, you can try heavy weapon from Iron Banner or some other weapon if you really like it. But heavy weapons are usually not used as much, so it's a good option. If you have trouble with choosing a heavy weapon, I highly recommend a rocket launcher. Get high explosion blast radius and handling. This is going to make things very easy. Just point and shoot. You don't have to think. You can even waste it if you want, so the enemy doesn't get it. There really quick are my mods, and here the things I have. I have Vortex Nova Bomb, Healing Rift, the Balanced Glide. The melee is the same, Suppression Grenades, Feed the Void, Child of the Old Gods. The fragments, I'll talk a bit about them on the gameplay. So here for the exotic, I'm using the Stag. I really like it. It gives you a very little damage reduction when you're on the Rift. But it also gives you 25% Rift energy when your shield is gone. And it gives you, like, when you die, you spawn a Rift. So it's good for your teammates. Both of my weapons here, they have the Dealer's Choice perk, and I chose the heavy weapon Promemoria exactly for that. The base, if you have one weapon with Dealer's Choice, this gives you 0.3% super energy. With the two weapons, you get 1.6. So it's a pretty huge bump on the super gains. Don't forget the emblem, and don't forget your ghost. Put the mod you want for what you want to get. You can get cores, you can get enhancement cores, you can get prisms, you can get a lot of stuff. Yeah, so that's basically it. This is a very, this is the build I like to play in Crucible. So very simple, very straightforward. Oh yeah, before I forget, don't forget your Pathfinder, okay? You can get 3 high-level gear or whatever to increase your light level. You can get a lot of prisms from there too, so it's very good. Here I'll have 2 matches. One is from Nessus, I don't remember the name of the map, and the other one from the Citadel in the Dreaming City. So first and most important tip for Iron Banner, capture the zones. Okay, please capture the zones. These, like, if you're, as I said, I'm not great. Okay, I'm not a great player. What I do is I try to help my team the best I can. And in this type of Iron Banner, which by the way is my favorite mode for Iron Banner, I really like the changes they made with the insertion pod and the turrets and the one zone you have to compete with the enemy. I find it very, very good. So yeah, I dropped my Rift, and this is what I do. This is my playstyle. I have the Rift, and I just place it where I think it's gonna be a good idea. Even if I'm a bit more aggressive, if the enemies kill me, I will drop a Rift on the ground where I died. So it's very good to understand your build, and don't forget to move together with your team. This is again very important. Here, as you can see, I'm trying to stay together with the team and defend this zone. Usually it's B that is a bit contested, so I'll try to stand my ground here and defend the zone so my allies can go and capture C. When you capture the zones, the more allies you have on the point, the faster it goes, and you also get quite a decent chunk of super energy when you capture the zones. And in this specific mode, capturing the zones is pretty much the most important thing you have to do. So you have to capture the zones and you have to defend the zones. But one thing I would say is try not to be greedy, because you don't need 3 zones, and if you get the 3 zones, it becomes very, very tough to keep things up. So just try to secure 2 zones, okay? The game is almost at the time of the insurgent pod, so I'm just trying to capture B back. It's the Child of the Old Gods is something I really like because it's very annoying to enemies, and that's another good point. If you know, like, I'm not the best player, I said it many times. So I just try to be annoying to the enemy team. Okay. You just like Child of the Old Gods, Suppression Grenades. If you're playing with a hunter, you have an edge on that because you have the Smoke Bomb, and the Smoke Bomb is very good. Here, when you have a situation like this, as you can see, I go on a suicide charge. If you're running around the capture zone, this makes it very difficult for your enemies to hit you. I mean, not very difficult, but more difficult than it would usually be. And it's actually quite quick to capture this middle zone. So basically what you do is you try to capture it. If you have it, you just stand back. You don't need to stand on the point to defend it. It's not gonna be very good, because if you all flock to the point, someone can throw a grenade or a rocket launcher or something that will kill you all very, very quickly. Okay, so the zone is gone and you just run to capture point. Okay, capture a point. Try, if your allies are close, try to go for that, or just try to go for the closest point you have. But remember, capture points. Okay, and this is a very interesting thing, because like, you may not be good with the gun. You can see, like, the revision 0 mine is not maxed out. With a maxed out revision 0, you can get, with Void, you can get 100 recoil direction, 100 range, and 100 stability. and I just missed my Nova Bomb. That's amazing. But anyway, it can get to a very, very good like stat, very good stats. But I'm not great. Okay, but still, I really like this gun. Heavy burst pulse rifles have a reasonably forgiving like accuracy requirement. It's 5 crits, 1 body. That's an 83 point something accuracy requirement, which is actually pretty good if you think about like the aggressive pulses. They require 100%. If you think about what was that, the 4 burst ones, they also require, no, it's high impacts. High impacts like LC's rifle and so on. They require 6 crits. The 4 burst rifles, they require again perfect accuracy unless you have like Headseeker or something like that. So I really like this kind of pulse, and the TTK is not too bad, but you shouldn't worry about that. Just try to get a weapon that you're comfortable with, because even if you try to use like the most meta weapon, if you're not very good with it, it's not gonna do too much good. And again, as I said, like the #1 tip is have fun. Okay, this is a tip I would give like for every Destiny player. Like, have fun. Unless it's like the very, very competitive kind of stuff and you really like that, you can be competitive. There's no problem in that. Just if you're not into that, if you try to be like always perfect and so on, it can become very tough, because someone will have a better god roll, someone will have a faster TTK, someone will have a better positioning. So things like that happen. If you go with the mentality of I'm here to have fun, I'm here to do like my best, but not like really forcing yourself to be like the best player. Don't care too much about your KD. As you can see, like, I will throw myself on the point if that's gonna make my team capture the point, because you never know. Like, my loadout is not very good for that. My loadout is better for distance. It's better to cover my allies. But you never know what allies you have. So if you see your allies are not going up, just try to go up and move up. Don't be scared of dying. If you capture the point and your team is able to keep that point, it's going to give more benefit to your team than if you would stay back and play your life. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so back again. I'm not very good, so if I say try drinking every time I say I'm not very good, it's gonna kill your liver. I'm serious. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, maybe you're seeing this and you're saying, but you're not that bad. Yeah, these are good matches. I had to like pick some good matches to show what I wanted to talk about. I had a lot of mercies. I had a lot of losses, but like, this is part of the game. So if you enjoy the process, this can be a fun experience. So here's the thing I want to talk about. In this map specifically, it's basically a big corridor. So you can all capture the first point. And when I go to the middle, I throw a grenade on the other door. And this is very important because I pick suppression grenades because they can be quite scary for the enemy. They can't use their special jump, they can't use their abilities, and the screen gets all weird. So this is very, very good for situations where you need to, again, annoy the opponent. Okay, so I put rifts that my teammates can use. Don't forget to pick up the orbs. Okay, if you're using Reaper, just like me, for hunters it's very, very good. Because you can dodge very frequently depending on your build. I mean, you can dodge more frequently than user class abilities, more frequently than most players, so most classes. All the classes, actually. Anyway, yeah, so again, try to help your team in some way if you're not very good at like gunplay, or for example, again, as I talked about smoke earlier, if you throw smoke on the door and if you actually nail it, this can be a very, very big setback for the enemy team, because the smoke will turn their screens black and make it very hard to see, and this can give you some moments for your allies to push. Now, in many situations I try to make an opening for my allies to push. It doesn't happen, but it's part of the game, so keep that in mind. But also, a very important thing, I said like you can throw yourself into the zones to try to capture them, but don't throw your life away. Okay, there's a good I don't know, there's a middle ground, you know, there's a good distribution you can try to find between these two. Another very important thing I almost forgot is while the insertion pod falls and you have those turrets, your enemies will also try to hit the the turrets. Okay, so you can use this moment where they're focused on that to also kill them. They can also do it to you, so you can keep that in mind. But it's something that can help you get like one kill or maybe more if the team is not well organized or is very in the open. This is also a great opportunity to place your rift if you're playing like with a Voidwalker and you're playing with a Child of the Old Gods. You can definitely use that to your advantage, and you can place the Child of the Old Gods in your enemy team position, so you can lock them up. The Child of the Old Gods actually also, besides weakening, it also gives them a speed debuff, so it's also a pretty good thing. Movement is very important in the game, so having something that disrupts enemy movement is also very good. This is also the reason for my melee. It will push enemies back. Not as much as I would like, if I am being very honest, but it's okay. It has also a pretty significant distance it travels. Like, it's not too much, but it's a very good distance, and it has amazing tracking. I don't remember if I hit one of those like melees in this match, but it can be like, it's very impressive. The other reason I really like the suppression grenades is that you can throw it around corners. So just as you saw on the so just as you saw, you can use it to like bounce around. I think I did it sometimes. It's very useful. Because enemies don't expect you to hit them when they are in cover or around corners and so on. So you can be creative. This is also like a very good tip if you are into the R3's Embrace exotic for the hunters, because it makes the knives very very good. So if you're playing like focused on guns, I would highly recommend using Hunter, and because you have like knock him down, or knock him down, I think is the aspect. It's pretty good to buff weapons, and you also get like, you can get the what is it called? You can get like those knives, explosive knives you place. I'm not very experienced in other classes. I mainly just play Warlock because that's what I like. So and this is a moment to talk about supers. Be very mindful of when you use your supers. Okay. If you use it too early, it can be a problem. But it also depends on the situation you use. If you use it early and it gives you a huge benefit, that's great. I have the Nova Bomb, so I try to use it on the bubble. Supers like the bubble and the well for the Warlocks, they're both good in these kinds of matches where you have points. So you can use that to capture a point, or for example, when there is the special zone, you can use it to defend the zone or keep it. But it's also very vulnerable to things like Nova Bombs, the whole lot of knives from the Hunter Super, and so on. So this is something you should keep in mind. So good supers to use. These supers that can grant the capture of an area are pretty good. Supers that destroy these supers that can capture an area is also pretty useful. And lastly, supers that, for example, silence and squall. That is very annoying and can give you a lot of space for your team if you use it well. That Cyclone is terrible to play against. But yeah, that's mostly it. I hope it helped. Please let me know if you have any feedback. If you have your tips for this game mode, if you have any tips, any concerns, any comments, anything. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.